Well, I'm reading in Second Kings about Elijah, and I had to look and make sure I was reading the right part because it was a lot of the same things that Elijah did. There was a lady whose husband worked for the prophet, and he died, and her debt collectors were coming, and so she goes to Elijah, tells him what her situation is. So he says, "Give me, do you have any oil?" She had like a half a jar of oil, and he said, "Okay, fill up all these other jars, a bunch of them." And then so she did, and every jar that they found from all their neighbors everywhere, she filled up with oil from the little jar that she had half full. And then Elijah said, "Okay, sell the oil and pay your debtors." So that's what she did. And then there was another scenario with this lady. She didn't have a child, and Elijah said she's going to have a child. So she has a child, and the child gets sick and dies, and she's like, "I didn't ask for a child, you gave it to me." And the same, almost the same verbatim what happened to Elijah in First Kings. And so he goes and prays over the child and breathes, blows on his mouth, put his mouth in his mouth, and lays on him his hands and breathes. And he does to do it twice, and then the child comes back to life. And then there's this guy that has leprosy, and Elijah cures him of leprosy, and then this servant of Elijah goes after the guy and asks him for 2 talents of silver and 2 changes, 2 clothes. The guy steps off his chariot, and then he ends up leaving, and then the guy doesn't give him, keeps the talents and the clothes, and Elijah knew what was going on, so that guy ended up getting the leprosy of this guy. So it was very parallel to Elijah. Okay. Now, yesterday I had a situation where I had somebody, was not appropriate on Facebook, and we unfriended each other, blah blah, all this stuff, and it bothered me. And I was at praise and worship at Center Church, and then I started thinking of jokes, and I'm laughing during praise and worship, and I'm thinking of my dad. My dad, I used to call my dad whenever I had a joke, and then Dad died, and I'm thinking, is my dad and the Holy Spirit somehow know about the jokes, right? And so I wrote something. I did a Facebook Live, or I did a video about it, and I posted it on YouTube. Now, YouTube and Facebook, Google have this algorithm where if you look up a website or a video, or you post a video, okay, it'll be able to tell some of the content that you have, and it'll put more kinds of content. So I started getting these videos on Dean Martin's Celebrity Roast, right? And I'm seeing, I watched a whole bunch of Don Rickles, right? And then now I'm also watching a lot of videos of Jordan Peterson. And so I started thinking about, what if Jordan Peterson had the same kind of edge that Don Rickles did, right? Make him a little more interesting to listen to, right? And then I don't know what got me thinking about some of these, and I'm seeing Rodney Dangerfield videos on YouTube, and it got me thinking, what if the characters in the Bible were played by, having Elijah be played by Don Rickles, and Elijah by Gilbert Godfrey, right? Or Samson by Andrew Dice Clay. I mean, it just fits right in, right? The riddle, right? It'd be perfect, right? I could see, so I'm playing around, imagining, which would be better, Sam Kinison as Moses? Move it, move it, move it! Let's go, let's go, let's go! Instead of Rodney Dangerfield. But um, different characters, playing different parts, different of these comedic actors, right? Playing the different characters in the Bible, and Don Rickles heckling, imagine Elijah heckling the priests of Baal like Don Rickles, right? Yeah, why don't you yell louder? Maybe he's taking a nap, right? Maybe he's on vacation, right? I just, then Elijah being played by, who's that really obnoxious comedian, Jewish comedian? It'll come. I just said his name. Gilbert Godfrey, playing Elijah, right? So I'm thinking of who would play David and Solomon, but what it's done is it's kept the Bible, the stories in the Bible, in the front of my mind all last couple of days, thinking about it all the time, and very interesting. I'm thinking there could be a very entertaining speech or sermon coming out of this, right? All right, that's what I got for today.